Hi Nate, how are you doing today?
Pretty good.
All right, let's go ahead and take a look at your strokes starting with the butterfly. Just first off, after watching this video already, a big theme, really two major themes for you. One is streamlines and dropped elbows. Those are the two main fundamental things that we really want to focus on here these first couple of months of the season. Just to give you an example, that first push off, just not that tight of a streamline. There's a rule that says don't ever push off that wall until you're locked and loaded, okay? And you can see you got your arms out in front of you, but you just don't really have a tight streamline. Get those shoulders back, snug a little bit more behind the ears, and you'll see that throughout on some of the other walls. I won't talk about it anymore, but just kind of remember that all walls need to have a tighter streamline, okay? But let's talk about those elbows here on butterfly. When we slow it down, you can see the small collapse there, just a slight collapse of the elbow, just a little bit. And the thing is that when that elbow collapses on you, there's a lot of things happening in here underneath the wrists and the forearms. You're trying to catch water out there, and you lose that ability to catch that water when those elbows collapse on you. See, look at that one right there. It's a little bit more prominent there. You can see that elbow starting to collapse. Now, off the wall, you got pretty good hips here. You got a lot of strength when you first push off, so they're coming out. I'm curious to see on the second lap here if maybe those hips start to sink a little bit on you. You do have a double kick.
Yeah, I try to fix that. I don't know how. When I finish.
Right. One of the things, we talk a lot about trying to get those shoulders a little bit higher. That number 11 position we're always talking about.
Yeah.
You see you've got these shoulders, down here a little bit. If we can just kind of get the shoulders a little bit more in line with your neck and your ears, and maybe that'll allow the chest to press a little bit easier. When that chest press, those hips will come up even more. They're actually coming out of the water now, which is pretty good. But yeah, the elbows, we'll do some sculling drills and keep those elbows up and just get used to the feeling of those elbows staying up high. All right, as we move into the backstroke, there was one thing I noticed when I watched earlier. I couldn't quite see it at full speed. Let's watch it here at full speed for a little while. Looks like your kick's moving. That's one area you've really improved a lot over the last year, is that you did not have a good flutter kick when you were 10 and 11, but it's getting a lot better. So it looks to me like your right elbow, let's back it up a little bit, this one closest to us, you can't see it at full speed, but maybe when you're at slow speed, right there, a little bit of a dropped elbow prematurely. You see how that elbow's bending?
Yeah.
I think that's just a little bit premature. You just entered the water. The focus here is to drive those pinkies through the water near the beginning and really grab water down in here. And then after you get to a certain point, you're getting closer to your head and neck region, then you're going to start bending that elbow and scoop here and finish through the wrist. Finish your wrist through the hip area. But you can see you're bending your elbow really early, and again, just like on fly, when those elbows dropped, there's a lot of catch here that you're missing.
Yeah.
The pressure of the water you're losing out on, okay? You are finishing down pretty nicely. That's with the right elbow. Let's take a look at the left elbow now. Good stream of air out of your nose. That's good. We always want to see that oxygen coming out. And what's the first part of your head to touch the surface? Do you remember?
Your nose.
That's right, your nose. Let's see what you do. And you're pretty good there. You want to tip that forehead up a little bit. Be careful, but that's not bad. All right, let's take a look at this elbow here. Oh, not as bad now. See, that elbow's not bending, is it?
So it's my left arm for freestyle and right arm for back.
You got it. Very perceptive of you. So yes, your left arm here has a nice catch. You're driving your pinky, and then right around here, you scoop, bend the elbow, and that's the power phase right there. Okay? Let's see how your kick looks. Yeah, I like the way your knees are starting to open up on your kick. There was a time about a year ago where your knees were not opening up as well. You still got a little bit of too much of a bend here. See that knee bend? We want to iron that out a little bit more, okay? But you've come a long way. All right, let's take a look at breaststroke, which I know is one of your strong strokes. You're a JO swimmer in all of your breaststroke events. So let's see here. You could probably get a little bit more power in that dolphin kick. Elbows high, strike the gutter, a little bit of a dive here. See that dive? All right, let's go back a stroke. We want to make sure that the forearms and the elbows are striking that gutter. You can see your first instinct is to let the arms follow the eyes downward, But you want to make sure you strike that gutter and not feel the elbows having to dive down like that. Pretty good body position after the stroke. I can see your kick is a little soft here. You make sure you kick those ankles together. Feel the feet coming together with authority, okay?
Right.
Tighten up that streamline. A little bit better dolphin. Strike the gutter. Yeah, you're diving a little bit here. Yeah, see that kick, how it's a little weak there at the end? I mean, you have a good kick. The technique of your kick is nice. See how your knees are nice and narrow? This is excellent here. Excellent right there. That's exactly what we're looking for on a breaststroke kick. And you've got each ankle starting to turn out just before you go into the power phase. And boom. That's really why you've got a lot of JO cuts and breaststrokes. But let's go ahead and finish off with just a little bit more of a squeeze at the end, okay? As we head into freestyle. There's no streamline there, okay? A little soft on the kick. Okay, and this, of course, we know we've talked about the elbows on freestyle quite a bit lately, right?
Yeah.
That's going to be the theme here as we head into October. Get those elbows up. You can see on a breath stroke, your elbow just, see that?
Yeah.
And it's almost every single stroke. We could slow down any of them. We don't have to discriminate. They're all going to do pretty much the same thing. So we want to feel, we want to feel something that's a little bit more there. Maybe high elbow and then a little pitch. If you firm up your wrists, if you make your wrist a little steady in the forearm area, sometimes that's another technique to help you keep those elbows up high. But it's going to have to happen, okay? Soon, like now. Let's look at your kick. Not too much of a pause during the breath. Most of the swimmers have a significant pause on the breath, and you're not bad there. Again, you've come a long way on your flutter kicks. Good. All right. We did take this extra shot of you straight on breaststroke. Let's just see what we got. Good narrow knees on the kick. Good body line after the stroke is complete. You're nice and horizontal. Let's see what we see on these ankles. Not bad. You can probably squeeze them just a little bit more.
All right.
Very good. Was this helpful? Good. Okay, let's do this again in a few months.